What's up, guys? So I've been doing a challenge, 6-pack in 60 days, and this is day 20. So what I wanted to do for you guys is just to give you a quick update and let you know how things are going, what to look out for, what to expect, and just a few tips that I've learned along the way. Oh, and if you're interested in getting the 6-pack in 60 days and you want to challenge yourself, just check the link in the description for more information. So what I'm setting out to do is just to get a 6-pack in 60 days. So if you've been watching YouTube shorts, you can go on my channel, see the videos. Basically, I started at 117 kg, that's almost about 260 pounds, and I'm gonna cut down and get a 6-pack. And the goal is to do it in 60 days, and right now, we're on track to hit that goal. Reason why I want to do that is just to show you guys what's possible and what you can do with literally just basic information and just sticking to the basics. A big part of this challenge actually comes down to mentality. When you set your mind to accomplish something and you set out to do it, you're going to have obstacles. Things are going to get in your way. There are going to be days when you don't feel like it. There are going to be days when people are telling you you're not good enough. There are going to be people doubting you. And realistically, it doesn't matter what you do in life, you're always going to face those problems. That's why fitness is such a great thing to work towards, because not only are you going to get a fit body, get healthier, your organs are going to be in better health. You actually become more intelligent as well when you're in better health. But the things that are going to train you to succeed in life. So as you can tell, I'm definitely a big fan of fitness and what it does for you, not just physically, but also mentally, and even you could even say spiritually as well. So I think that's enough of an intro, and now I wanted to get to the main topic of this video, which is just giving you guys an update on how the challenge is going, what to expect, the do's and don'ts, a few secret tips here and there, my energy levels, plateaus, what happens, if you don't drop weight every single day. Basically just giving you guys a rundown of what would help you if you were on this challenge and you were at this point. So as I said, it's day 20. We're 1/3 of the way done, and I'm just going to start off with my top 3 tips for the challenge. The first tip applies to any time you have a goal and you're trying to achieve something, but my main tip is to start the day focused on what you want to accomplish. It makes a massive difference. If you start off the day and you think, oh, I've got this challenge, and you go about your life, what's going to happen? Things are going to come up in life. This person's going to show up, that person's going to show up. You're going to have to do this, you're going to have to do that. You're going to get tired. The time's going to start ticking, because obviously time waits for no man. We only got 24 hours in a day. Next thing you know, you haven't done what you're supposed to do. So anytime you have a challenge, anytime you have a goal, the best thing you can do is make it a priority and make it the first thing that you do when you wake up. So as you know, that's my first tip, is don't wait, do it now, right? So when I look at this challenge, when I think about having a 6-pack in 60 days, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is think about this challenge and put effort and energy into accomplishing this challenge. We're talking about getting a 6-pack. So what the first thing I do when I get up in the morning, obviously, boom, a morning workout. I sit here and I record, I make some footage for you guys to bring you guys along on the journey with me. But again, that's very important. I make it a priority, right? The first thing I do when I get up, oh, that's another thing as well, is I don't hit the snooze button. Second I wake up, boom, it's go time. Let's go. Get up, get out of bed, track your progress. That's weighing myself, that's just basic stuff, weighing myself, logging it, writing it down. It's day 20, I'm at this weight. Then I go right into it. I do my workouts, make some footage for you guys, and I do that the first thing in the morning. I do that at the start of the day, and boom, it sets me up properly, because the first thing I'm thinking about when I wake up in the morning is my goal. I'm going to get a 6-pack in the morning. Boom, this is what I'm doing, and then I do it. And that's building a skill, that's building discipline. That's going to take you very far in life. So I think that's very important. Starting it early, first making it a priority. That's one of the main tips. If you don't get anything else from this video, just know, if you have a goal, make it a priority. Make it the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, and you are much more likely to achieve that goal and make real progress. Because you got to imagine, if you think about it, you don't want to wait till you don't want to wait until the end of the day when you've gone through all your day. You're giving your energy to work, to family, to relationships, to problems. Everyone's had your whole entire energy, and then all this leftover energy at the end of the day, that's what you're going to put towards your goal? No. If you have a goal, make it a priority. When you wake up, boom, that's your first energy of the day. And boom, it goes where it needs to go. So if you get nothing else from this video, if you have a goal, make it a priority. Boom. All right, so second thing I would say, so second tip is obviously consistency and having a plan. So obviously I talk about making a priority, but you also want to know what you're going to do. You can get up and have energy to accomplish your goals, but you have to know how to do it. What are you doing? What are the action steps that you need to take in order to achieve those goals? Like obviously fitness is simple. Get up, work out, track your progress, make sure you know what you're going to do with your diet, sleep, and all the rest of it. So fitness is very straightforward, but it's having that plan in place, right? When I wake up in the morning, boom, I know I'm going to hit that workout, right? I'm not sitting here waking up, oh man, what do I have to do to get a six pack today, right? Know what you're doing. When you know what you're going to do, it makes it much easier to actually go out and do it. And you get things done a lot faster and you become much more efficient as well. So obviously know what you want to do and know how to do it, right? I get a lot of you guys, you're going to be beginners, you're not going to know everything, but just have a plan. Start somewhere and later on you can always improve that plan as you gain more knowledge, you gain more experience, but just have a plan, have something that you know what you're doing, and that way you can also, when you look back and you track things, you know exactly what you did. So then when you do make a change, you can see how much of an impact that change is making. So it makes your life a lot easier. So that would be my second tip, is to know what you're doing and have that plan ready so you can execute it as soon as you wake up. And as you see, these tips are actually stacking one on the other, right? So here's my third tip for you, is to ignore all negativity, ignore everyone doubting you, ignore that, don't take it to heart. And if you do take it to heart, make sure you're using that energy in a way that's going to propel you forward and closer to your goals, right? So obviously first thing I said is, one, your first energy of the day should go towards your goal. Two, know what you're doing. And then three, right, is to block out all that hate. You see, because as I say in these tips, they stack, right? So if you wake up in the morning, boom, the first thing you're doing is your goal. See, no one's had any time, there hasn't even been enough time for people to disrupt you, right? That you don't have enough time for someone to say you can't do this, you can't do that, right? You woke up and you've already taken action. It's too late. I've already done it. You can't tell me I'm not gonna go and achieve and do what I need to do today, and I've already done it. It doesn't, right? So when you make it that priority and you do it at the start of the day and you know what you're doing, when people do come and they say, oh, this isn't gonna see, when people do come and tell you this isn't gonna succeed, oh, you suck at this, you're bad at that, it's not gonna matter because you've already put the work in that's gonna guarantee your success. So it's just noise at that point, right? Because when you have a goal and you're focused on your goal and you're putting action towards your goal, and every day you're doing it again and again and again, what that is doing is reinforcing what you set out to do from the beginning. So if every single day I'm putting in stones, I'm laying that foundation, as you the story of the big bad wolf, huffing and puffing, they're not going to knock over your foundation, because every single morning you put in real action, you put in real effort. So if someone comes and tells you, oh, that isn't going to work, it doesn't matter what they say, because I know what I'm doing, I'm tracking it, I'm writing it down, and I can physically see the progress. So how are you going to sit here and tell me I'm not going to succeed, and I already see it working, and I've written it down, and I have proof, right? So as I said, these tips that I'm giving you, they stack, right? Because the thing is, if I didn't have a plan and I wasn't tracking and I wasn't doing this first thing in the morning, and then someone came along and said, hey, you're not doing well, look, you look fatter than you did yesterday, you might actually believe them. And if that was true, then it's like, oh, why am I doing this? What's the point? People are making fun of me, I'm not gonna achieve my goals anyway. That's how you start thinking, because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. When you get up in the morning and you actually know, I've done this, actually know, I've been tracking my weight, I've been tracking how much food I've been eating, this is what the numbers are saying. So how can you sit here and tell me that, oh, I'm fatter than I was yesterday, or this isn't working? And I can clearly physically see that it is, right? They're just gonna look stupid, they're gonna sound stupid. But if you haven't put that work in and you haven't done step one and step two, when they come along and tell you you can't make it, you might actually be inclined to believe them, because you have no clue how much progress you made. All you know is your emotions, and they just put your emotions to work against you, right? They're convincing you to focus on negativity. And if you start leaning into that and listening to that, you'll never achieve your goal. That's why I said 3 tips, they stack, right? Boom, first thing you do in the morning is execute your plan. First thing you do in the morning is put in that work. Then you track your progress, because you have a plan. And those 2 things alone is what gives you that foundation to where you're making progress. And when you know you're making progress, everything is working in your favor, when someone comes along and tells you it's not working, you know, it's in one ear out the other. You're not interested because you have concrete evidence of what you're trying to accomplish, and it is going well. So now when people tell you you're not going to make it, you laugh at them because you're going to get the last laugh, because you see what the numbers are doing, because you put that work in the morning. So those are my 3 main tips for you. First thing is, put your energy to your goal first thing in the morning, then have a plan and know what that plan is and execute that plan. And then 3, now when people come and they tell you can't do this, you can't do that, you have a solid evidence and a solid foundation of why you can succeed. And that's why you will succeed, right? So those are my 3 main tips. Next thing I wanted to do was to tell you about our difficulties that you'll face during a challenge, right? So when it comes to weight loss, right, more often than not, it's not going to be a straight, smooth line, right? Weight loss is up and down, right? So sometimes you'll start off and you're losing weight, and then you step on the scale, oh, I've gained a bit. You might get a bit discouraged if you don't understand the process of what's going on, right? So what happens is you're losing weight, and then your body, it wants to plateau, right? It does that because your body works to help you survive, right? So naturally your body's going to want to keep weight if it can. But typically what happens is you'll drop weight and then you'll feel depleted, right? So you'll have less energy, right? You might feel a bit sluggish, and you'll be at a certain weight and your body is keeping that weight. And when you are in those plateaus, as long as your weight is not spiking up like crazy, you're completely fine. Because what will happen is you'll drop weight and you'll feel depleted. You won't have much glycogen in your muscles, but then you'll stay the same weight, but you feel better, right? You have more energy. And once you stabilize at that new lower weight for a week or so, then your metabolism stabilizes, and then you can push further, and then you'll start dropping weight again. So it'll be like this, and then you sort of plateau a bit, and then boom, and then you make more progress. But you just have to understand just to stick with the progress, and that comes, obviously, it's sort of, as I said, this is stacking on one another, is knowing your plan and executing your plan, and obviously getting more and more information as you go along. Because the thing, whenever you're trying to do something new, there are going to be times when you're unsure of yourself, and even though you're putting the work in, you're confused. And the 1 is to keep going, and then 2, over time, is to talk and communicate with people who are on the similar path as you, people who have done it before, people who are doing it with you. Just basically talk to people who are going to pour into you and make you more likely to succeed, as opposed to people that are just going to tear you down. And I get that it's difficult to find people that are actually in your corner and actually want you to succeed. That's why I sort of have a community of guys where everyone's sort of on the same mission and we're all focused on achieving our goals. And if you want to know more about that community, then just check in the description and there's more information about that. But the thing is, you want to be around people that are going to help you out and make sure that they're actually able to help you when you're in those more difficult positions and you are unsure of yourself, right? Because when you're in those times, those are the critical moments that can either make or break you, right? So you've been made all this progress and then you're plateaued, and then you're unsure of yourself, and then you think, oh man, maybe this isn't for me. And then someone tells you, oh no, you're good, just do this for a week, and then chances are you'll see more progress. And then you stick with it for a week, and then you start seeing progress again, and then you start believing in yourself. Then you start making real changes, not just to your weight, but to your mindset, to your entire life. So that's why it is really important to have people around you that are telling you the right thing. So again, if you don't have anyone, obviously just check the description. We are helping guys out. And then the other thing that I wanted to say, so it's day 20 for me, but we do these challenges and we do multiple types of challenges throughout the year. And if you want to get into fitness, doing a challenge is so good for you, because what it does is it gives you a target, a goal, and it keeps you accountable because there's a time limit. So you're not just going to sit here and keep thinking, oh, maybe next day, because you have to act now because it's a challenge. So it challenges you, it pushes you to places, and it pushes you to do things that you didn't necessarily think were possible for you to do. That's why challenges are so important, and we actually do run quite a few challenges. So if you want to get involved in any of the challenges, just check the description down below, and I hope this helps you. Obviously, if you are doing a challenge, just do your best, day in, day out, consistency, and you'll make it. And give it enough time and you'll get where you want to go. Peace. So this has been another video. I hope this helped you guys out, Any questions, just hit me up in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you guys. Till next time, guys. Peace.